Why do dogs hate it when we are on our phones? This, when we are totally immersed in scrolling, feels much bigger than we might realize. And a lot of dogs will show it either by barking or by doing something to get our attention. My name is Eva, and I am a certified canine behavior consultant, and I help my clients understand their dogs better and deepen the bond they have with their dogs. And in today's video, I will break down what might be happening underneath your dog's reaction when you are deep into the scrolling. But before we do that, I'd like you to pause this video and think about a moment when you were with a friend, partner, family member, and they pulled out their phone and started scrolling. Think about how that made you feel, because this will give us a glimpse into how our dogs might be feeling, because when we are the ones scrolling, we usually forget about the individual on the other side and what they might be experiencing. Some of the feelings that might have come up for you are frustration, rejection. Why are you on your phone if we are spending time together? And something similar might be happening with our dogs. Unfortunately, I could not find any research on how scrolling affects dogs. So everything that we will discuss today is based on my knowledge about dogs, research from that field, and research connected to increased screen time, increased phone usage. And what we will be talking about can be a part of the reason why your dog can't stand you being on your phone. But there, of course, can be other reasons too. And what we will discuss today is just a part of that reason. First of all, we have to look at what is happening with us, our brain, when we are on our phones. And honestly, looking at the research on this is pretty scary, because spending a lot of time on our phones can trigger psychological, cognitive, and even physiological changes. It's connected to psychological distress, anxiety, depression. Being constantly present on social media can lead to negative self-concept and emotional numbness. There's information overload that is connected to dissociation, which can contribute to a sense of isolation and disconnection from our goals and even from our physical body. And if we focus specifically on the brain, scrolling can impair memory, decision making, planning. It leads to structural changes in the brain, like reducing the volume of the brain's gray matter volume. It reduces our creativity and much more. Some scientists say that we need further research to confirm this is 100% because of our increased screen time, but they do agree. And I think we all can speak from our experiences that spending a lot of time on our phone has more negative than positive consequences. I don't know about you, but for me, I definitely spend more time on my phone or mindlessly checking the apps if I'm already dysregulated from lack of sleep. That's a big one for me, or just in general being more stressed than usual. So my emotional state going into the scrolling is already bad, and it only gets worse for me after being on my phone for longer periods of time. I feel numb, zoned out, cannot focus, think. In general, I feel worse than I did before. When this becomes relevant to the topic of today's video is when we combine it with how good dogs are at reading us and responding to us. They possess a profound understanding of our gestures, actions, emotions. They are capable of integrating information from our faces, body language, what we say, how we say it, and even our odor. So we can be pretty confident that they are able to sense all the negative effects that scrolling has on us, and they might bark or act out as a way of responding to what's happening with us, to warn us, to make us stop this self-destruction. We also must not forget that dogs are a social species, and social species need connection and strong bonds with others. Otherwise, they will experience social pain, and social pain is even more painful than physical pain, according to research. And for a lot of dogs that live in a single dog household, we humans are the only individuals they spend the majority of their time with. So we are the only one they can satisfy the need for connection. And they do need to satisfy it in order to survive, just like they have to eat, drink, sleep. So besides all the negative effects scrolling has on us, it also negatively impacts our time with loved ones, including our dogs. What we also have to keep in mind is that negative affection, connection, attention, whatever you want to call it, is better than no affection, connection, attention. If the dog barks or does something else that annoys us, sooner or later we will stop staring at our phones and do something to make them stop doing that thing that's annoying us. For example, raise our voice. And from our perspective, it seems clear that because of our expressed dissatisfaction, the dog should get it and stop doing whatever they are doing. But from the dog's perspective, they finally managed to get us away from our phones and focus on them and give them the connection they need. Even though the connection comes in the form of yelling, it is better than being completely ignored. And that is how they learn that barking, acting out, works. Because they will do anything to satisfy the need for social connection because they need it to survive. And I really need you to let that sink in. I know that it's a hard thing to hear, but we need to face hard things because ignoring them will not make them go away. And this is a judgment-free space. We all spend more time on our phones that we'd like. But I think it's important to realize what kind of consequences this has on us, on our relationships, including the relationship with our dog. And I don't think that reducing the screen time to zero is even possible for a majority of us. A lot of us, like a lot of our work is connected to being on the phone, on social media. But I think that we should focus on searching for compromises on how we use our phones in a way that they work for us instead of being the source of our problems. What is very sad is that our phone use affects individuals in our closest social circle the most. So we are basically exchanging, spending quality time with the ones that mean the most to us with what's happening to strangers on the internet, basically. And since I could not find any research on how our phone use affects our dogs, I turned to the next best thing. And that is how parents phone use affects their children. The bond between humans and dogs is very similar to parent-infant attachment bond. So this can give us some glimpse into how our scrolling may be affecting our dogs and why some might be reacting the way they are. So the research looked at how parents' use of a phone during the conversation with their child affected the child. And what they found is that this can lead to a series of emotional and behavior consequences that impact the child's long-term well-being. Because children may experience feelings of neglect, emotions like sadness, anger, frustration. Some of them even call their parents, touch them, or they escalated their behavior to screaming, throwing tantrums, or acting out in another way to get the parents to stop using their phones. Some of the children even gave up on trying to reconnect with their parents, which can have motivational and emotional consequences. And all of this is very similar to what we might be seeing in our dogs. Even though our dog is not visibly reacting to our scrolling, we should probably all reevaluate how much time we lose staring at our phones. For our sake and the sake of our loved ones, I know that I will try to bring my screen time down as much as possible because I want to give my attention and time to the ones that matter the most to me. Let me know in the comments if you will also embark on the journey of reducing screen time and how that's going for you. And let me know, does your dog react in any way when you are on your phone? If you like this video, please subscribe to my channel and share the video with other dog guardians that might enjoy it. And I will see you in the next video. Bye!